Computer security is an ongoing issue with the advancement of everyday technologies. Computer security can be defined as the methods by which you protect your computer from various intrusions through certain methods. There are individuals who are paid to check on computer security and the security of any other mobile device you may use. These people are often paid to do so and produce patches and upgrades to help further the security of your computer. Other individuals, who are often criminals, utilize ways to make sure that your computer and other mobile devices are not secure in order to steal information or otherwise hack into your computer. Computer security processes can apply to other aspects of everyday life, including your regular security at home, as well as your mobile security. There are common issues you will experience regarding computer security, such as digital security risks, computer crime versus cybercrime, and internet and network attacks. Digital security risks impacts what is on the computer. Common digital security risks are brought on by people. A hacker could try to get some of your information. An untrustworthy coworker may try to get you in trouble. Someone from the outside may be looking to steal your information. Spoofing and phishing are the most commonly used attacks via the internet, most commonly using email. With spoofing, someone pretends to be a legitimate company and asking you to click a link to log in. You're not actually logging in, but giving them your login information. Phishing is getting you to click on a link to get other information such as your location. Computer crime is a crime, of course, involving your computer, such as theft or destruction of property. Software theft is a common computer crime. With the expensive cost of software, such as MS Office, people have been known to try to steal the software. More common is illegally creating copies of the software. Software comes with licenses needed to activate the programs, but when illegally creating copies, these computer criminals find ways to create unlimited activation codes, which allows you to put the software on tons of computers without actually purchasing it. When purchasing a software legitimately, you agree to purchase a set number of licenses. Cybercrime is a crime that occurs online in some capacity. Info theft can be a computer crime or a cybercrime. It depends on where the info has been stolen from, directly from your computer or from their web. Info theft is less common if you understand password protection and/or encryption. Encryption is an entire sector of computer programming geared towards converting words into numbers. It is like Morse code, except usually only a few parties actually know how to translate the encryption. You can password protect all important files as well. Not only can you password protect your computer, but individual files too. To do so, you would have to right-click a file, select Properties, click Advanced under the General tab, and then select Encrypt Contents to secure data. To avoid issues related to info theft, avoid interacting with any email addresses you are unfamiliar with. Most people you know will provide you with their contact info and/or have an email signature that identifies themselves. Even then, emails can get hacked, and you must be watchful that it is truly the person you know. After a time, you'll notice how certain people write and what they write about. Anything off from that pattern can symbolize an email hack, and you shouldn't follow any link within that email. Additionally, only go to websites you know and are familiar with. On Facebook, there are links to other sites with a news story or article. Make sure to only click through if you know and trust that website. Malware and viruses can attack your computer too. Go to a certain website and it might have your computer automatically download virus or malware files, which can infect your computer. This may cause your computer to run slower than normal, crash, and may even require you to start over by taking it in for repairs. To prevent such issues, it is important to have malware and virus detection software on your computer. I use AVG for my virus detection needs and CCleaner for my malware needs. You should also consider only going on networks that are protected by a firewall. It doesn't mean you cannot go onto a Wi-Fi network, but make sure the Wi-Fi network has a password/login requirement associated with it. If there is no login for a Wi-Fi network, anyone can get into it and in theory get into your computer. This is because spyware and adware also exist. Spyware is harder to detect but collects data from your computer. Adware uses your search patterns and causes pop-ups at an alarming rate. There are some less common issues associated with computer security, but you should know about them as well, such as unauthorized access, hardware theft, and vandalism. Unauthorized usage is less common these days as more individuals realize they can password protect their computers at all times. If you step away from computers, even for a few minutes, you can lock your computer in requiring a password to be entered upon access. Locking your computer when you're not active can prevent individuals from accessing your files while you step away from your computer. Additionally, it may be wise to turn off your Wi-Fi or internet connection while you're away too. This will prevent digital intruders, or at least help in that capacity. On certain websites, you will notice that in order to continue, it will ask you for a CAPTCHA, or randomized code, to make sure that you are human. Computers are now getting more advanced and featuring security components that are utilized elsewhere. You may now need a PIN, like for your credit card, to access certain computers. Like your gaming system, some computers may now also have facial recognition software. While I have not used them, I have also seen laptop computers that require a fingerprint reading to allow access to a computer, meaning only you can get access to the computer for login. All of this new technology makes things simpler for crimes to be solved using digital forensics. Hardware theft and vandalism are less common now because of the functionality of computers. Just like when we bring our phones everywhere, there are some people that bring their laptops everywhere too. So it is less likely that someone will shove your laptop off a table, causing it to break into 20 pieces if you're in a computer lab surrounded by people or in public in some other capacity. Hardware theft requires someone to take a piece out of the computer, which takes time and is noticeable as well. All it takes is a fingerprint analysis to find out who committed the crime. So now you're wondering, what can you do? There are a number of things you can do in order to make sure that your computer is more secure. Backing up your computer is not difficult and can often be set to back up whenever you'd like. The most common time frame to back up is once a week. Your computer will have settings you can modify to do this. Backing up your computer provides you with a point where everything is going swell with your computer. In the event you need to restore your computer to a previous point in time due to a virus infecting your computer or something similar, having backed up your computer will give you a stronger chance of preventing ongoing issues. You can also back up your files to the cloud or an external hard drive. Wireless security is a big issue. If you go into Dunkin' Donuts and use their Wi-Fi, it simply asks you to agree to terms in order to continue. Since there is no password, anyone can access that Wi-Fi as long as they are in range. So the next time you're sitting there eating a bagel and about to buy something from Amazon, remember that your credit card info and address can now be accessed by anyone on that unsecured network. If you go in Wendy's or use an on-campus Wi-Fi or your home internet connection, there should be a password required to log in and access the internet. This limits the issues. People can still hack into those networks, so internet service providers are creating stronger and more encrypted passwords, but the likelihood of someone accessing your info is far less. It is important to realize that due to cookies, your internet history is stored wherever you are. Some sites you access at home are not appropriate for school or work. Sites you access at home may not even be accessible at work or school because they have been filtered. Certain sites will be blocked and certain topics will be blocked too. For example, at a religious school, certain terms may not be searchable in Google. At home, only you know what you're accessing, and the internet service provider will only say anything if you commit a crime. But when you're at work or school, your access is being monitored by someone who can have an impact on your job and or access privileges. It is important to recognize this since while going into Facebook may be fine at home, it isn't in these other settings. Some things you can do to limit issues have already been mentioned, such as turning your internet connection off if you are going to be elsewhere. But there are other things you can do too. If you use an Ethernet cord to connect your computer to the wall and aren't going to be home, remove both ends of the Ethernet cord and store it in a drawer. Turn your computer off whenever it isn't in use. Consider limiting your usage altogether to times where it is absolutely necessary for use, such as doing homework or responding to emails. It is important to know your rights when dealing with computer security, as these rights are constantly changing. For example, at work and school, you've agreed to usage terms of use that you may have never even read. These are often standard, but violating any of these terms can result in termination or loss of internet usage. The school and your workplace can monitor your usage for safety purposes. Your rights will vary depending on the situation. For example, if someone steals your data online, you have more rights than if you violate one of the agreed on terms at work and your internet usage is taken away. Even if you don't use your computer that much, you should understand these computer security concepts. These concepts should make you think of your general security too. For example, you might rethink leaving your back door unlocked when you go to bed to make sure your home is entirely secure. All of these concepts can be applied to mobile security too. Be careful of using free Wi-Fi when you're doing things that can release information. Be careful to still adhere by terms of usage when accessing the internet through your mobile device. Turn off the Wi-Fi connection tool if you aren't needing to access the internet. Based on what you now learned on computer security, you can inform others too. There are a number of older individuals that are just learning the convenience of using the internet, but are unaware of its pitfalls. Be a good person and inform them so that they are limiting potential issues for themselves.